So today is Tips and Tricks Tutorial Tuesday. You know what that means, don't you? Today I'm going to be teaching you how to become a good pirate. We're going to be teaching you about the different curse balls and situational ways that you should use them, when they are used and when is the best time. Me and Morgan are going to be going down some of the best practices, in my opinion, of Sea of Thieves. And what you can do to get your game right, becoming better than where you're at. Because I know a lot of frustrations are with PvP, that stuff doesn't go the way you want it to go. And it happens often. It happens to me, sometimes eyeballs up, but I'm going to show you here how basically I run my, I run my ship. So, top barrel, PvE food, sometimes I spice it up. Sometimes it's top barrel, sometimes it's bottom barrel. PvP food, bottom barrel. If you're going into naval, or you're going into fighting with anybody, if you're going for the border should have the top tier food. Pineapples, megalodon meat, kraken meat, trophy fish, those are your top tier. Then down from that is like your pomegranates, your normal fish, your small fish. And then from that it's, mangoes first, and small fish. And then it is your pomegranates after that. Pomegranates are your least one that you should use when going into a fight. They give you half of your health bar back. A mangoes give about 75%, and a pineapple gives you 100%. If you put in registrations or food, there you go. So bananas give you 20%. So if you do 5 bananas, you've got 100% health. Coconuts give you 30, which is about 4 to give you full 100%. Poms give you 40. Mangoes give you 50. Pineapples give you 100%. Fish give you 30% with 20% regen. Trophy fish give you 70% and 25% regen. Meat gives you 50% with 25% regen. And kraken meat and megalodon meat give you 100% with 50% regen, which actually gives you 2 full health bars. Ideally, when you're in the game, your proof of practice should be if you're doing nothing, you should be doing something. I know it sounds daft, but if you're not doing anything on your ship, then you should be doing something. Going and getting resources, jumping from island to island, getting more cannonballs. I want to learn how to get to Shores of Gold, all tell tales from the beginning. Right, that's pretty easy, to be honest, Lucy. It's actually quite self-explanatory. If you go to your pirate's log, and then you go to your reputation, you've got one called Tall Tales right here. Now, ignore the pirate's life, 1 through to 5. It's actually done in all of it is done in order. Now it's kind of a bit cheeky. If you glance over it and you skim over it, you're not gonna notice there's certain icons that will help you with knowing which order to do them in. Now you do them in 1, 2, 3. I'll turn my camera off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the last 2 are the completion of the Flameheart storyline. So if you look here, take you with 100 bits there. Straight. If you look just here, can you see there's a little icon just there? Well, thank you very much for the 100 bits. This little icon here, Lucy, you can see it. That icon is where you can pick up that quest. Okay? So, say for example we want to pick up that quest. If you go to your map, zoom in, you'll notice there's little icons like this here, there, and everywhere. And look at that. If you zoom in close enough, that's the same icon. Right-click on it, it'll tell you that is the Shroud Breaker. That is the number 1. So, typically, the majority of them are on the outposts, but there are some scattered on, like, say, Shipwreck Bay. There's one at, where's the other one at? Galleon's Grave has 2 for a Pirate's Life, but that is where you find them. So, if you were to do them in order, probably the easiest way, I'll probably turn around and say to you do, is probably go to Plunder Outpost. Because the first one that you will do, if you go to Pirate's Log and Reputation and go back to Tall Tales, is you will do that one, which is Shroudbreaker, which I've just shown you, which is that little icon there. Then, if you go out, you have the Cursed Rogue, which is that one. Oh, sorry, wrong one. It's that one there, that little icon. So if you start off your journey, you want to be starting off realistically at Plunder, because it has both just right there. If you look, both of them are right there. So you've got the Shroudbreaker, and then you've got the Coast Rogue. And you just work your way through it, to be honest. It's not that difficult. I hope that's helped. So, there's a way that you can sort out and organise your ship out. And we've near enough got it here. Me, personally, I like to have the chain shots before the firebombs, and I like the blunderbombs before the firebombs. So what I'm going to quickly do is, I'm not going to do anything, because it'll take forever. coming to the seaports like this tend to give decent cursed cannonballs. Now, sometimes you get them where you get an abundance, sometimes you don't get any, but in my experience, you get decent cursed cannonballs from the seaports. So always go checking them out, and don't forget to open the crates as well. A lot of people don't realize that these can be opened, and you can get stuff from inside them. Always check the crates, barrels. Got chain shots there as well. Could have got some chain shots in. Let's have a look at this one, and there we go. So before we even get there, what I'm going to turn around and do is prep work. What am I going against? I'm going against a galleon. I want that. I want a rigging ball. I want a peace ball. I want some sleep balls. I want a grog ball for definitely, and I want an anchor ball. Why do I want them? Because there's a certain order that if you fire them in, you're going to be in for a good time. If you fire them out of sequence, you're going to be in for a bad time. Okay. I'm going to switch to blunderbuss as well. Make sure what food I have is right for what I'm going to do. So I've got 5 pineapples, and Norgon's got 4 pineapples underneath if he chooses to take them. Typically, the helmsman will take one and then usually take stuff from other things like mangoes or other stuff, and let the primary boarder have the heavy stuff. Right, okay. So I'm looking now straight away. The first thing I'm looking at right now is my analysis of the gameplay. They are currently got their sails to the left, which means they're in the right direction because the wind's inland. Why is the middle one up? Why have they not got their speed on approach? Second thing I'm looking for is what helm are they using. It's not a sweaty helm. They're using the Shark Hunter hull, which means they're not using sweaty sails like Dark Adventurer sails. It's not a good boy hull, so it's not pure white, or the Insider hull, which again leads to it's not sweaty. It's not gilded cannons, they're glowy cannons, again, not sweaty. So we're approaching now, and they want to fight. They're bringing themselves onto the broadside, so we start to punish them. I'm aiming in the middle of their big mast, and then what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to go over. I tested the shot, I fire this one, this gets rid of the, what's it called? And then I go for the anchor. They're going nowhere now. I can now start dialing in and literally just go for where I want to hit. I want to aim for just a level line. You see the triangle part of my cannon. I'm aiming just for the back mast, and this is hopefully going to line me into middle to bottom deck shots. See? So we're dialing in. I'm aiming at the back mast, leading my shots because we're in a turning circle. This is called death circling. So at this point, they are stuck. They are stagnant. I'm aiming my shots and I'm leading them because we're going in a circle. And we just keep going. We keep dialing, we keep dialing, we keep dialing. Now we want to hit some above the main deck. And now we need to be careful. Alright. So how are we careful? We go for the peace ball. We're aiming for the peace ball in the middle of the deck. What that should do then. I've missed. That was bad. We're going to be on the broadside. This is important. So, we aim for the middle of the mast. Hopefully that one hits this time. Yes, it does. The cannons have gone up. So at this point, the anchor is in place. You can give them a weary ball, which stops them from, that makes them all sick and jiggy, and whatnot. The guy's trying to aim, because he's aiming with a sniper. Start dialing in. And again. Realistically, they should be actually getting themselves moving. Cannons are coming in. I'm dialing in on the cannoners. That's a nice shot. Gives a bit more speed, mate. Now I aim for the cannoners. And now I stop them from moving. I go for the chain shot. I leave my shot for the first one. Then I leave my shot for the second one. And I leave my shot for the third. I go try to snipe from there. Go for the bottom deck. And go again. Load back up. Someone's boarding because I just heard a cat. Now they're sleeping.
There's some speed here a little bit. Get away from me a little bit.
Keep dialing, keep dialing. Now aim for the main part on the ship where the cannons are.
I think I got your ship on over there.
They're panicking now at this point. Now you aim a little bit higher than your last cannon shot. Fire yourself over.
Repairing as much as I can.
See, now these guys are panicking and you hear them. I'm repairing as fast as I can. They're not listening for boarders. We go up, we get on board.
It
Well,
gives me a
nice
break to
then.
repair.
Take you there, and then get your health, jump down, go to the next part, jump across again. Get down into the lower
mate,
decks.
He fell down into the cabin screw.
Wait for him to come up. He's not sinners.
Oh, one of them's still firing at us, though. One stayed on there.
These guys are starting to panic.
I hit him! I hit him with a sniper! Oh, he's on the ship! He's Captain Jack Sparrow!
I am Captain Jack Sparrow, savvy! Alright. So now we've got one person underneath. We just heard the pail. We get ready. Stop. Second one down. Go over. Get rid of their stuff. Start setting fire to the decks. See what we can do. They've got firebombs. Make them panic. Get all the fire next to the actual, anything that they're trying to use. We want it on the cannons. We want it on the capstan. We want it on the wheel. Making it all difficult to fix. We gotta back down. Get ourselves the blunderbombs. Get ourselves ready for the next fight. And we run on down. Get ourselves reloaded to make sure we've got 5 shots and not 4. Meanwhile, our guy on the ship
Come on, Lauren.
is now tampering the lower decks. We go down and we make them panic.
They're on our ship thinking that they're...
Go down again. Get their health back up. Use the sword to your advantage. You can bunny hop while being in the water. That gives you the advantage to get back on the Counter-Strike. Another one. And the down. And that's how you systematically take down a galleon. Piece by piece. Eyes black, screen back. Pretty lucky.
Oh,
That's
They're
how you
shooting
systematically
themselves
just keep
on
us in a circle. They're going to come up.
yeah.
Now, this is where you have to be very careful. You've won the fight, all the treasure comes up. You're like, yeah, buzzing. There's loads of treasure. Don't keep your eye off the ball. We killed 2. They could get back spawners, which could be 4 people. 4 people kill spawning on a sloop is a nightmare. It's hard to break. Keep yourself composed. Keep yourself in a slow spin. Get yourself on the turn. We can see a guy in the water. Get us on. We'll do a special on him, mate. Alright, so we can see someone in the water over there. He's wearing glowy stuff. You can just see him pointing out the water. I didn't have my blunderbuss. If I had my blunderbuss at the ready, I would have used it. Okay, there's probably one left. What people tend to do is, as soon as they see all the treasure coming up, oh, we're quids in, let's do it, get all the stuff on. They don't listen, so on boards, clap, clap. They start setting firebombs off. Here, and here, down here. Because they don't have a ship to sink you now. Okay? So literally, they put 3 or 4 firebombs down here. That will open up 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually it doesn't. It only opens up 1. But if you put a couple down, you may be lucky to get 2 go off at the same time. That's 2 holes coming from the main hull. Over in the back, you can put 4 down here and it will open up 6 holes. There's 2 on each bit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I'm going to show you, just for argument's sake, how powerful this technique is. Because you're like, oh yeah, sure, that you're making that up. Watch, okay? So 1, 2, 3, okay? 1, 2. And people are on at this point, someone's spawning in. There's the 3rd. It's in the middle. Okay, I go over. I switch back to blunderbuss. I'm going over to this. Da 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 da. You've managed to get on board. You've lowered the anchor. What next? What next can you do to get yourself an advantage in the fight? Turn the mainsail. This is only against the sloop. Turn the mainsail slightly to the right. Go down. Get yourself a chain shot. Get yourself a chain shot. Go on over. Get yourself it loaded. And aim just at that little bezel there. Can you see the little notch? Aim for there. And what this does, and it's kind of a bit fine work. Let's get it into the sweet spot. Go on over. And bang. You little buggy, you're not going to do it for you. There we go. It's called self-chain shot, sabotage. Now they have to get the anchor up, they have to get the boat, they have to get the crows, the actual mast back up, and they have to deal with fire. As we see, we have 3 holes that have come in. That's 3 holes already sinking at the back. We've got 1, we've got 2. We've got 5 holes in the space of no more than 3 minutes. You keep up the fight. Bang, bang, bang. Use a blunderbuss. Get some blunderbombs. If they spawn at the front of the ship, blunderbuss them off. Boom, get off the ship, get off the ship, get off the ship. They'll get bopped off. Then you wait for them. If they're trying to be clever and they're trying to stay on the actual, what's it called? On the ladder, be clever yourself. Jump on this ammo box, go over, aim down the sight. Bang. You want to outthink them, you wait for them to get up and you jump on this ammo box. Then you can go over to here, climb on the ladder and follow them up. Bang. You're on fire, okay? You're on fire. What a lot of people do when they're new to the game is they'll go over and they'll put themselves out. Speedy process. While you're on fire, go over on top of the fire and put yourself out on top of a fire. It gets rid of you on fire and the fire that is around the surrounding area. Think smart, not hard. No, work smart, not hard. So what that does is it gets rid of the fire and gets rid of the fire on you. Then you can go down and you can get yourself some health and then you can move on to the next bit. Alright? I'm going to tell you now, the amount of people that do this is unforgivable, but it's understandable at the same time. Okay? You come in, oh my god, we've got loads of holes. We've got loads of holes. Okay? I'm gonna pale once. I'm gonna pale once and watch how quickly we can get this ship back up and running. Okay? Pale once. Right, let's go. Get the mast up, I'll get the anchor up. One tap. And then get going. You move on, I'll come down. We're safe. We've got 6 holes at the back, but we're safe. Still not over halfway. But you've got your ship fixed, the mast is repaired, your anchor is up, and you're moving. So, say your bucket's empty, you don't have to, what's it called? You don't have to go like this. And wait for the whole thing. If you double click it, you don't have to do the full emote. It's just wait till it's halfway down. Another cheeky one for you that you're gonna like is this. I'm gonna put some fire on the over here. Okay. This is another thing. Watch. Oh my god, there's a fire. Going all the way up, going all the way around to put it out. Stop. Wasting time. Go underneath, get yourself your water, stand underneath, look where the fire is. And the fire's gone.
Help, Rob is trying to cook me.
But yeah, curse balls are a must if you're taking down a galleon. You need a mass ball, you need a couple of grog balls, definitely a couple of sleep balls, you need an anchor ball and a peace ball. These are your like holy trinity. If you can get the sail up, then they stop moving. When they start fidgeting and bringing their sails down, then you anchor them, because then they're not on the cannons. They're trying to get the ship back. Then what you do is you start pumping the lower holes as much as you can, while trying to avoid the broadside. When you come up to the broadside, fire the peace ball. They can't fire at you. Then you start firing some of them more in the mid-deck and in the lower deck. Then you start firing the odd chain shot, getting rid of the masts. They've got some of the cannons down. Fire a grog ball. Have you ever tried to fire it in this game while being drunk on a cannon? It's a nightmare. Why would I come to Skullkeep? Okay? Skullkeep is amazing for training your cannons on a static target. So, do you know how we got the anchor down for the galleon? What we're going to use is we're going to use these turrets just right here. So the one there, and the one there. I'm going to start off on a tight turning circle. As close. Alright? I'm going to teach you how to lean your shots. So if Norgon keeps us in a nice turning circle, and this is close range, okay? I work in a method which is called masts. I'm imagining that's a mast, and because we're going this fast, you want to lead your shot behind the target. So I'm leading it behind. Do you see how it drifts? Behind the target. I'm not aiming at the target. If I aim at the target, it's going to miss. I'm aiming behind the target. Okay? I'm aiming at the same point every time, nearly, and just leading the shot. Okay? It's called leading your shots. Okay, we're going to go for the mast at the top this time. We're going to lead the shot and fire now. So, again, we're going a little bit further out. Now we need to lift up a little bit higher and predict the shot again. So now we were a little bit too early there. Now we're a little bit late. Dialing again. But you see how I'm dialing in after. There's a good gap there between where I'm aiming and where I'm leading my shot. If I want to aim at it, I'll aim right on it, and it'll just go all the way over there. So I'm going to aim about an inch on the screen, a little bit further away than where I think I should be aiming. Now me, I use a term that I've made for myself. I work in a mast. So I go, okay, that's quite far. So okay, we're going to aim about that. Double the size of what the actual thing is and see if it lands. And that's a long shot. Okay? We're coming in quite quick this time, so we don't have to lean our shots just as much. Right. Cannonballs, chain shots, people. All different weights. And if you try to aim at the same point, so if I aim for the same point here, so I go for cannon, I'm going to aim here, and that shot will hit. Okay, I'm aiming there, a little bit higher. Okay, these are hitting perfectly now. Watch what happens when I change to a chain shot. I'm keeping it at the same place. You see how much lower it is? It's heavier. And a person is heavier than a chain shot. So you want to lift it up by about that. About an inch on the screen. So if we lift up by an inch on the screen, load it in. Let's use a cannonball as a pilot shot. Okay. So then we go, okay, that's hitting perfectly. So we want to aim just a little bit higher and let it drift in. And if you want to board, aim a little bit higher than that. So we'll line ourselves up, we'll go cannonball, which is going to be here. And then we're going to aim about there. And then we're going to go for the board. We're a little bit high, but we're in the right direction.